Should you scout for Anniversary Irida and Hisuian Typhlosion? Are they any good? Guys, this is the second sync pair of the 6th anniversary, and I am very impressed with Anniversary Red's kit. I wonder if Irida will impress me as well. This sync pair is a poison type or poison terrestrialization type whatsoever. She does have a ghost type move, which we're gonna take a look at a bit. But she starts 2 days after red, and she ends on the same day. She is a field unit with an EX role of special strike. Now, just like red, she has a lucky cookie, which is virulent toxin 4, meaning if the opponent is poisoned or badly poisoned, your sync move will be 40% stronger. So I can see that somewhere in her kit, she can probably poison the opponent. Let's take a look at her kit right now. So this sync pair also terrestrializes at the start of the battle. So once she terrestrializes, she becomes or her Pokemon becomes a poison type. So let's take a look at her stats. 402, 484, which is level 200, which is not the way that I want to look at this. At level 150, her stats are okay-ish, very quite high speed stats. Hisui's Shining Pearl. So this will power up your moves and sync moves by 20%, just like red. And this can power up your sync pairs, sync moves up to 50% the more Sinnoh sync pairs you have in your team. Not necessarily Hisuian sync pairs. Just Sinnoh sync pairs will already power up your attacks to a maximum of 50%, which is very nice. You have your second passive skill, help quell the battle. If you attack an opponent that is afflicted by a status condition, whatever that status condition is, asleep, poison, burn, frozen, paralyzed, you get to raise whoever allies attack or physical moves up next effect rather, as well as special moves up next effect for that particular ally, including yourself. So if I were to look back at the red or Anniversary Red, and I have Irida to poison the opponent. If the opponent is already poisoned, then I attack using red's AoE attack. Well, I will raise my physical moves up next effect as well as special moves up next effect against, I don't know, 3 poison opponents, and then I will have my physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect raise +3. Is that it? Plus the moves themselves will already raise my, let's, something like that. Just it will help the entire team raise our physical moves up next effect and special moves up next effect. And our next attack is going to be quite strong. Soul Eating Space, your normal attacks will become poison type attacks. And then your field of play will become EX Poison Zone after you use your first attack. So this is EX Poison Zone. For red, it's just normal, regular Dragon Zone. I wish that they made the EX Dragon. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I have a love-hate relationship with EX terrains, zones, and whatsoever. One side of me, yes, it's nice, it's strong, but then another side of me, it does not really last that long. So you have your fourth passive skill, deciding with caution and foresight at the start, or rather after you use your sync move for the very first time, you will bring in Sinnoh Special Circle, and then it will raise your sync buff +1. So this also acts like a support sync pair. So we have a field sync pair with an EX roll of strike plus support, as you can see over here. So pretty nice. Let's take a look at her attacks. You have Illusory Light Hex with a limit of 1, power of 150, hits one opponent, and then it will activate when there is an opponent with at least a status condition, and it will double in power when the opponent has a status condition, and then it will lower that opponent's accuracy -3, and then it will give that opponent a special move break effect, which will raise the damage that the opponent will receive from special attacks. You have Super Potion, finally, not just a potion. You have Graceful Hyper Beam, which will hit every single opponent, and then it will double in power if the opponent is afflicted by a status condition. It will give you a super effective up next effect if you do not have a sync buff yet. It will also raise your sync move up next effect +5 if you do not have a sync buff yet. But if you already have a sync buff, it will lower your sync move countdown -2 when you use this. Now, I find this funny because Hyper Beams are supposed to be stronger than Hexes. And if you look at the power right now, Hyper Beam is only like 100 to 120, while Hex is 150 to 180. That's just sus. Check out the type of Hyper Beam. It's a normal type attack. But because of the passive skill, Solating Space, normal type attacks become poison type attacks, so that Graceful Hyper Beam is not really graceful, but really poisonous. And then you have Strength in Numbers to reduce your ally's sync move countdown -1, raise that ally's special attack, raise that ally's critical hit rate. You can use this on yourself. So kind of acting like a sprint sync pair this time with the sync move countdowns, acting like a support sync pair with the super potions, as well as, you know, helping the allies with the double sync buff, as well as physical moves up next effect, special moves up next effect, bringing in Sinnoh Special Circle, as well as EX Poison Zone. So she acts like a support field sprint strike. Is she a tech as well? Well, she can lower the opponent's accuracy. So in some way, I guess. And then you have your sync move. Or rather, sorry, going back to Amethyst Terra Blast, which is your Terra attack. Every single time you attack the opponent, you can lower the opponent's attack or defense and special defense -1. It will leave the opponent badly poisoned. And then it will just, this is the way you want to poison the opponent. Just use Amethyst Terra Blast to badly poison every single opponent and then lower the defense and special defense of all opponents. So in a way, she also acts like a tech sync pair with the debuffing and everything and the poison and everything. So you can bring in Poison Zone after you use your sync move. It will be an extended Poison Zone, and hopefully you can extend that EX Poison Zone enough to extend it with your sync move. And as a striker EX role, she can hit every single opponent after you use your sync move. In terms of passive skills, you have Antitoxin. Virulent Toxin 3 is a multiplier for your sync move at 2 out of 5. You have Potent Toxin, Quick Cures, Gobsmack 4, Poisonous Acceleration, Poison Zone, HP Recovery, Natural Remedy, Toxic Power 5, Debut Badly Poison. Oh, this is interesting. At the start of the battle, all opponents get badly poisoned. Poor opponents. And then hit poison opponent, defense and special defense down 9 at 3 out of 5. First sync move, special boost 3. Soften up 1 so that you get to land critical hits easier. Brain power, the higher your special attack stat is, the stronger your sync move is. 3 out of 5 also gives you Poison Zone extension. That will be very helpful for the EX Poison Zone. And then at 4 out of 5, you got Debut, Sinnoh Special Circle, and Extension. Just like Anniversary Red with the Kanto Physical Circle and Extension. And then with the last 5 out of 5, you got Quell the Frenzy once more. It will restore 1 MP of your Hex or your Buddy move when you use it for the very first time. And it will also restore 1 MP of Graceful Hyper Beam when you use it for the very first time. So you can use Hex at least 2 times. And then you can use Graceful Hyper Beam at least 3 times. Your call how you want to use this. You want to special super effective up next effect before the sync buff, or do you want to lower your sync move countdown after you get a sync buff? Completely up to you. In terms of other passives, You have Amethyst, Terrablast, Move Gauge Refresh. Strength in Numbers, MP Refresh 2 will be nice. Graceful Hyper Beam, Move Gauge Refresh 9. And probably Super Potion MP Refresh 2 will be quite helpful because that's a 60% recovery, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And you can use it at least twice or 3 times or 4 times, depending on how many MP refreshes you got. So that is it for our Irida. What can I say? She's a field unit. She can badly poison every single opponent. She can bring in EX Poison Zone, but I hope that EX Poison Zone will extend enough with the extension at 3 out of 5, if I'm not mistaken. Poison Zone extension at 3 out of 5. You can get... I'm just weirded out with the buddy move that Hyper Beam is weaker than a Hex. But aside from that, that's giving you a super effective up next anyway. And then, you know, if you decide to use Hex, that's a ghost type attack. If you decide to use Graceful Hyper Beam, it's a poison type attack. So 2 different types of attacks here. And yeah, she is a field unit. She is a striker EX role. She is somewhat of a sprint unit with the sync move countdown. If you decide to use Graceful Hyper Beam after you use your sync move, you can also lower your sync move countdown by using Strength in Numbers, support sync pair with the Super Potion, and a tech sync pair with the Amethyst Terrablast to lower the opponent's defense and special defense, as well as accuracy stat with illusory light hex. So in a way, this covers all roles except for, you know, whatchamacallit, except for the multi-role. And she quite has a lot of multipliers, but probably not as crazy multipliers as Red. Although Brain Power is a multiplier, Poison Zone is a multiplier, or EX Poison Zone is a multiplier, Virulent Toxin is a multiplier. Still a lot of multipliers. Plus, again, I'm not sure if the special move break will also apply for the sync move. If it does, then it's another multiplier. Sinnoh Special Circle is a multiplier. A lot of multipliers for these sync pairs. And yeah, very strong in terms of, do we need a stronger poison type sync pair? I think we will benefit from having a better poison type sync pair, because there are, I mean, aside from Gita, who else is a good poison type? I'd have to recheck once again, because as far as I remember, Atticus is poison type, and then after Atticus, who else did come out as a stronger poison type? I don't recall that much, but so, you know, having a strong poison type sync pair come out will definitely really benefit our sync pair roster in terms of poison type. And if you want to go poison tower, then that will be very helpful as well, I guess. So that's that. That's our anniversary Irida little analysis. If you want to scout for her, definitely let me know. I am stuttering like heck because it's 4:19 and I have to wake up quite early. So apologies. I don't think I'll be able to do the data mine or the gem count video. I want to try seeing if I can do the data mine in a nutshell for events, but kind of running out of time for that as well. Let's just see if I can do that for you guys. But I want to do Gloria and Volo before that. So let's see how I compress my time within the next hour before I go to bed. If you want to help me out, support me by clicking on coffee.com/splgum or become a member of my channel or a Patreon at patreon.com/splgum. Also, a huge shout out, by the way, to my super thanker. Thank you very much for your support. If you enjoy the video, you can also do that. Click on the super thanks. Thank you very much. Until then, I have to rush for the next video. See you in the next one. Rawr.